Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Andrea Decker. In this video, in conjunction with the Gluck Fellowship for the Arts, we'll be talking about Disney movies. Yes, Disney movies. We'll explore the dramatic structure of Disney movies, what makes the stories so interesting and effective, and look at how Disney movies borrowed from musical theater traditions to create the incredibly popular global phenomena they are today. First, a bit about me. I'm a graduate student at UC Riverside studying music. I research pop singers in a country called Indonesia. I have a degree in singing, took many theater classes, and have a lot of experience performing in musicals. I've also taught guest lectures about musical theater history and a whole class about analyzing movies with a focus on Disney movies. I'd also like to introduce a special guest. This is Win Moreno. He has an MFA in acting and teaches theater at Riverside City College. He's going to help me out throughout this program, and you'll even get to hear him sing later. Our first question is, what's the history of Disney movies, and how are they connected to musicals? The plot structure is very similar, so how did that come to be? Even today, Disney still makes musical versions of their most popular movies. Has anyone seen the Frozen or Aladdin shows at the Hyperion Theater in Disneyland? Disney movies and musicals are connected, and by looking at the history of musical theater, not only can we get better at performing musical theater, we can learn something about Disney too. Imagine you're living in New York City in the early 1900s. The world seems to be changing rapidly. Your family didn't always have a lot of money, but your father owns a factory and now you've moved up to the middle class. You've been able to make a huge purchase, an upright piano, which you've learned to play to show off your new status and to entertain your family in the evening. Sometimes, on special occasions, your family goes to the theater on 42nd Street, where new electric lights brighten the streets so much, advertising the shows and the actors, that you call it the Great White Way. Many of the shows you see are vaudeville variety shows with lots of music and dance numbers and comic scenes with no story connecting them, or revues, big song and dance spectacles with no story at all. When you love a song you hear on stage, you take the streetcar to nearby Tin Pan Alley, where music composers sit in windows playing the piano and singing to get people to buy songs. There, you buy sheet music so you can take the song home and play it on your new piano. In this period, most musical theater didn't have a clear story. Each individual song, skit, or dance number, called acts, needed to stand on their own and be entertaining. Plays existed, and they might even have songs or dances during the intermissions or breaks, but they weren't part of the story. At the same time, opera and operetta, light opera with dialogue, came over to the US from Europe. Composers and performers loved these art forms, but they were foreign to the USA. They wanted to develop their own uniquely American art form. This is how musical theater was born, combining operetta with American musical styles and storylines. In this new art form, songs couldn't just be good songs. Because musicals relied on complicated stories that had to last for 2 hours instead of 10 minutes, songs had to contribute to the story and move it forward. In the past, most songs were showstoppers, big song and dance numbers that literally stopped the show with outrageous spectacle. Now, most songs and even dances had to continue telling the story. The 1927 musical Showboat was an important example, an early musical with a story that lasted the whole night with a serious message. The story was based on a novel, and it dealt with racial prejudice, poverty, and tragedy. In the flirty song Make Believe, the two main characters sing about only pretending to love each other. While the song is lots of fun, It also foreshadows or hints at their later tragic love story. When the young protagonist or main character, Magnolia, sings Can't Help Loving That Man, she sings about her objective or motivation, what she wants more than anything.
Maybe I know can't help loving that man of mine.
And the classic song Old Man River stops the show with a demonstration of emotion and vocal skill while setting the scene of racial discrimination in the American South. Three musical theater conventions, or dramatic plot points that would be repeated again and again, were born. Soon after Showboat premiered on Broadway, musical theater began to face competition from another new art form, movies with sound. The same year, Showboat premiered on Broadway, 1927, the first full-length motion picture or film to use synchronized talking and singing in addition to a musical score. In other words, the first talkie premiered. Talking picture technology took off, and lots of the composers who once worked on Tin Pan Alley moved to Hollywood. Broadway had to compete with movies, and movies started to win. Disney's first full-length animated film, Snow White, came 10 years later. Up to then, Disney had mainly made animated shorts. Snow White took 3 years to make. The songs were an important part. A full-length animated feature had never been made before, and Disney wanted the songs to match how impressive the animation would be. The songs like I'm Wishing, Someday My Prince Will Come, and Whistle While You Work were written in the Tin Pan Alley musical theater tradition. Disney was right. The songs were so popular that the soundtrack became the first movie soundtrack ever released. From that moment on, Disney and songs were inseparable. In this curriculum, we'll look at 3 song types common to most musicals and most Disney movies and analyze how to perform them. These 3 song types are the I Want song, the Hypothetical Love song, and the Showstopper. The I Want song is usually sung towards the beginning of the movie or musical. Sometimes called the Sitting on a Rock song. In this song, a protagonist pauses to reflect on what they want more than anything, or what their motivation is. Some examples are How Far I'll Go from Moana, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, and My Shot from Hamilton. The Hypothetical Love song is almost a love duet, but the 2 characters involved never come out and say they love each other. It's like saying, what if we fell in love? Some examples are People Will Say We're in Love from Oklahoma, Love is an Open Door from Frozen, and Light My Candle from Rent. Showstoppers are a holdout from vaudeville and reviews. The story stops for a moment for a showcase of technical skill and spectacle, like big dance numbers, vocal fireworks, intense emotion, or impressive set or costume changes. Some examples include Let It Go from Frozen, The Room Where It Happens from Hamilton, and Defying Gravity from Wicked. Look for videos about each of these song types. In each video, I'll talk about some common characteristics of the song type and give you some tips for analyzing and performing it. We'll also look at some examples. For your activity today, I want you to explore these 3 types of songs. First, watch the 3 videos about the song types, the I Want song, the Hypothetical Love song, and the Showstopper. Second, brainstorm. For each song type, think of 3 Disney or musical theater songs that fit that style. They can be from anything. Get creative. Bonus points for thinking of one that I haven't thought of before. Listen to the songs you pick and think about how they're different. What are the lyrics about? Are the songs fast or slow? Loud or quiet? How do they contribute to the plot? What do we learn about the story or characters from the song? Third, if you like to sing or think of yourself as a performer, pick an I Want song and a showstopper that fit your voice and character type. Look for songs that you could actually use in a show or audition, characters you might actually play. Think about how you'd perform them differently. What's the character's mood or emotion in each song? What do they want? Also, be sure to look for the video and supplemental material about singing technique. These are exercises you can do on your own or following along with the video to help you sing in a healthy way that allows you to express all the nuances of a character's emotions, whether they're singing about what they want or bringing the house down with a showstopper. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Gluck Creative Classroom. Bye!